While we're busy hunting for exotic superfoods and the latest garden trends, our grandparents survived on vegetables most of us have never even heard of. These were tough, resilient, and incredibly nutritious plants that fed families through the Great Depression when money was tight and grocery stores were often out of reach. Today we're going to rediscover 25 forgotten vegetables that kept people fed during the toughest times, and why you might want to grow them in your own garden today. From underground roots that stored through winter to fast-growing greens and multipurpose crops, these plants were the backbone of self-sufficiency. Welcome to Purely Garden, where we reconnect with timeless growing wisdom and uncover the vegetables that history almost forgot. Stick around, because by the end of this video, you'll know exactly which of these resilient plants can transform your garden and your plate. Root vegetables were the backbone of Depression-era gardens. They grew underground, stored through the harsh winters, and provided reliable nutrition when fresh produce was scarce. Families depended on these hardy roots because they could be harvested over months, often lasting well into the winter without refrigeration, making them a critical part of self-sufficient living. Vegetable number 1, salsify oyster plant. Salsify, often called the oyster plant, was valued for its unique, subtly sweet flavor reminiscent of oysters. During the Great Depression, when meat was scarce or expensive, salsify offered a protein-like taste that families could use in soups, stews, or mashed like potatoes. Its long, slender roots stored exceptionally well in cellars, making it a dependable winter vegetable that required minimal care once planted. Beyond its flavor and storability, salsify was remarkably resilient. It could thrive in poor soil, tolerate drought, and survive colder temperatures, which made it nearly foolproof for families relying on their gardens for survival. Even today, gardeners who rediscover salsify appreciate its delicate taste and reliable harvest, a reminder of just how resourceful Depression-era gardeners had to be. Vegetable number 2, rutabaga. Rutabagas were a staple root vegetable during the Great Depression, prized for their hardiness and ability to last through long, cold winters. Larger and heartier than turnips, they could grow in poor soil and withstand frost, making them an ideal choice for families who needed dependable food sources. Their mild, slightly sweet flavor made them versatile in stews, soups, and roasted dishes, providing a filling and nutritious addition to every meal. What made rutabagas especially valuable was their storage longevity. Planted in late summer or early fall, they could be dug up gradually over the winter, ensuring a steady supply of vegetables when fresh produce was otherwise unavailable. Their resilience and utility made them a true Depression-era survival vegetable, and today they remain an underappreciated crop that modern gardeners can easily grow and enjoy. Vegetable number 3, parsnips. Parsnips were another essential root vegetable during the Great Depression, valued for their sweet, nutty flavor and ability to store well through the winter. Unlike many other roots, parsnips became sweeter after a frost, almost like a natural dessert for families who had little else to indulge in. They were often boiled, roasted, or mashed, and their long growing season meant careful planning, but the payoff was a reliable, hearty vegetable that could sustain a household for months. In addition to their flavor, parsnips were incredibly versatile in the kitchen. Both the roots and the young shoots could be used, and their dense, starchy texture made them a filling component in soups and stews. For Depression-era families, parsnips were more than just food. They were a dependable source of energy and nutrition during the harshest months of the year. Vegetable number 4, celeriac celery root. Celeriac, or celery root, was a prized vegetable during the Depression for its versatility and long storage life. Both the knobby root and its leafy tops were edible, allowing families to make the most out of every harvest. The root could be boiled, mashed, or added to soups and stews, while the greens were used like celery or spinach, adding flavor and nutrition to meals when other fresh vegetables were scarce. Its hardy nature made celeriac ideal for tough growing conditions. It thrived in cooler climates and could be stored for months in a root cellar or even in the ground over winter. For families who had little to spare, celeriac provided both sustenance and variety, making it an indispensable crop in gardens designed for survival rather than aesthetics. Vegetable number 5, Jerusalem artichoke, sunchoke. Jerusalem artichokes, also known as sunchokes, were a Depression-era favorite because they were nearly impossible to kill and produced abundant harvests year after year. These knobby tubers could be planted once and continually expanded, providing families with a reliable source of food without the need for replanting every season. Their nutty, slightly sweet flavor made them a versatile addition to soups, roasted dishes, or even eaten raw, giving households a much-needed variation in their diets. Beyond their flavor and productivity, sunchokes were incredibly resilient. They thrived in poor soil, resisted pests, and tolerated harsh weather, making them perfect for gardens where resources and attention were limited. This perennial crop became a symbol of self-sufficiency, offering years of harvests from a single planting and proving just how resourceful Depression-era gardeners had to be. Vegetable number 6, dandelion greens. Dandelion greens were one of the most accessible and nutrient-packed leafy vegetables during the Great Depression. Growing virtually everywhere, without any cultivation, they provided free, reliable food for families who couldn't afford store-bought greens. Packed with vitamins A, C, and K, as well as minerals like iron and calcium, dandelions were a natural powerhouse, often surpassing the nutritional value of conventional lettuce. Families would harvest the young, tender leaves for salads, or cook the older, more robust greens in soups and stews, ensuring that no part of this ubiquitous plant went to waste. Beyond their nutritional value, dandelion greens were remarkably resilient. They could thrive in poor soil, tolerate frost, and regrow quickly after harvesting, making them an almost foolproof addition to survival gardens. Depression-era households appreciated their reliability and versatility, using them not only as a food source, but also for teas and natural remedies, demonstrating just how resourceful gardeners had to be when resources were scarce. Vegetable number 7, lamb's quarters. Lamb's quarters, often called the poor man's spinach, was a staple leafy green for Depression-era families. It grew rapidly, thrived in poor soil, and provided an impressive array of nutrients, including protein, calcium, and vitamins A and C, often surpassing the nutritional content of cultivated spinach. Families would harvest the tender young leaves for salads, or cook the mature leaves in soups, stews, and sautés, making it a versatile addition to meals when other greens were scarce. This hardy green was also exceptionally easy to grow and practically indestructible. It reseeded itself each year, ensuring a continuous supply without much effort. Its resilience and high nutritional value made lamb's quarters a trusted survival vegetable, providing reliable sustenance for families who relied on their gardens to bridge the gap between harvests. Vegetable number 8, purslane. Purslane was a Depression-era favorite for its ability to thrive in poor, dry soil, where other vegetables often struggled. This low-growing succulent was packed with omega-3 fatty acids, vitamins, and minerals, making it a rare and valuable source of nutrition when food options were limited. Families would harvest its tender leaves and stems to add a slightly tangy crunch to salads, soups, or cooked dishes, providing both flavor and sustenance during hard times. In addition to its nutritional benefits, purslane was nearly foolproof to grow. It spread quickly, resisted drought, and required minimal care, making it ideal for families who needed dependable food without expending scarce resources. Its resilience and versatility earned it a permanent spot in survival gardens, proving that even the most humble plants could play a crucial role in feeding a family. Vegetable number 9, Good King Henry. Good King Henry was a perennial leafy green that earned its place in Depression-era gardens for its remarkable resilience and multiple harvests throughout the growing season. Often referred to as a heritage spinach, both its young shoots and mature leaves were edible, providing families with a steady supply of nutritious greens year after year. Its slightly earthy flavor worked well in soups, stews, and sautés, offering variety when other vegetables were limited or unavailable. What made Good King Henry especially valuable was its perennial nature. Once planted, it returned season after season, reducing the need for replanting and offering a reliable, low-maintenance food source. This longevity, combined with its nutrient density and versatility in the kitchen, made it an indispensable survival vegetable, demonstrating the resourcefulness of Depression-era gardeners in maximizing both yield and sustainability. Vegetable number 10. Sorrel. Sorrel was a vital leafy green during the Great Depression, prized for its tangy flavor and high vitamin C content, which helped prevent scurvy during long winters when fresh fruit was scarce. Its bright, lemony taste added zest to soups, sauces, and salads, making meals more flavorful and nutritious when other vegetables were limited. Families appreciated its ability to provide both nutrition and variety, especially when every calorie counted. Sorrel was also remarkably hardy and easy to grow. It tolerated poor soil, returned each year as a perennial, and could be harvested multiple times per season. Its resilience and consistent yield made it a reliable addition to survival gardens, ensuring that households had access to a fresh, vitamin-rich green, even during the harshest months of the year. Vegetable number 11. Kohlrabi. Kohlrabi was a multi-purpose vegetable, highly valued during the Great Depression for its fast growth and versatility. Both the bulb and the leaves were edible, making it a double-yield crop that stretched limited resources further. The bulb could be eaten raw, roasted, or boiled, while the leaves were often used like cabbage or kale in soups and stews, providing essential vitamins and minerals to families who relied on their gardens for sustenance. Its quick growth, often ready to harvest in just 50 days, made kohlrabi an ideal choice when time and space were limited. The plant thrived in a variety of soils and weather conditions, producing reliable crops even for gardeners with minimal experience. This adaptability and efficiency made kohlrabi a true Depression-era survival vegetable, offering both speed and nutrition when every meal counted. Vegetable number 12. Turnips. Turnips were a cornerstone of Depression-era gardens, valued for their dual-purpose nature. The roots provided a hearty, storable vegetable that could be boiled, mashed, or roasted, while the tender greens were packed with nutrients and often used in soups and stews. This versatility allowed families to maximize their harvest and make the most out of a single planting, which was crucial when every seed counted toward survival. Turnips were also incredibly hardy and adaptable. They thrived in poor soil, tolerated frost, and could be planted in succession for a steady supply throughout the season. Their ease of cultivation and reliable yields made them a trusted vegetable for households that needed dependable, long-lasting food sources during hard times. Even today, turnips remain a practical and nutritious addition to any self-sufficient garden. Vegetable number 13. Beets. Beets were a Depression-era favorite because they offered both edible roots and nutritious greens, making them a highly efficient crop for families with limited space and resources. The roots could be stored for months, providing a natural source of sugar and energy during the winter, while the tender leaves were harvested early in the season for salads, soups, or sautés. This dual-purpose use meant that nothing went to waste, which was essential when food supplies were tight. In addition to their practicality, beets were surprisingly easy to grow and resilient. They tolerated a range of soil types, weather conditions, and even some neglect, producing reliable harvests year after year. Their vibrant color and sweet flavor added variety to otherwise monotonous meals, making beets a valuable vegetable for both nutrition and morale during the challenging years of the Great Depression. Vegetable number 14. Manjul wurzels. Manjul wurzels were giant beets grown for both human and livestock consumption, making them an indispensable crop during the Great Depression. One plant could weigh up to 20 pounds, providing a substantial amount of food from a single harvest. Families relied on them to feed people and animals alike, stretching limited resources and ensuring that nothing went to waste. Their dense roots were often boiled, mashed, or fed directly to livestock, making them a versatile and practical choice for survival gardens. What set Manjul wurzels apart was their incredible productivity and ease of cultivation. They thrived in poor soil, tolerated harsh weather, and required minimal care once established. This resilience made them a true workhorse of Depression-era gardening, offering both sustenance and efficiency to households who needed reliable, long-lasting crops to make it through tough seasons. Vegetable number 21, horseradish. Horseradish was a valued perennial during the Great Depression, prized for both its pungent flavor and its ability to store in the ground for months. Families used it to add zest to otherwise bland meals, as a condiment, and even for its natural preservative qualities. Its strong, spicy roots could be harvested as needed, providing a reliable and long-lasting addition to the kitchen when fresh ingredients were limited. This hardy plant was incredibly low maintenance and could thrive in poor soil with minimal attention. Its resilience and year-after-year productivity made horseradish a practical choice for survival gardens. Depression-era gardeners appreciated its longevity, versatility, and the small but powerful boost it provided to meals, demonstrating how even modest crops could have a big impact on daily nutrition. Vegetable number 22, ground cherries. Ground cherries were a Depression-era treat, often referred to as nature's candy, because of their sweet, slightly tart flavor. Encased in papery husks, the fruits were naturally protected, allowing them to store well and last into the winter months. Families enjoyed them fresh, in pies, or preserved, making them a versatile and reliable source of fruit when money for sweets or other treats was scarce. In addition to their flavor, ground cherries were easy to grow and highly productive. They thrived in a variety of soils, tolerated heat and drought, and required minimal care, making them an ideal crop for survival gardens. Their combination of long storage, sweet taste, and low-maintenance growth made ground cherries a beloved addition to Depression-era gardens, providing both nutrition and a little joy during hard times. Vegetable number 23. Radishes. Radishes were a lifesaver for Depression-era gardeners because they grew incredibly fast, often ready to harvest in just 25 days. Their crisp, peppery roots provided quick nutrition when hunger couldn't wait, and their seed pods were also edible, making every part of the plant useful. Families could plant them in succession, ensuring a nearly continuous supply of fresh vegetables throughout the growing season. Beyond their speed, radishes were easy to cultivate and resilient in a variety of soils and climates. They required minimal care and could be harvested multiple times if planted in intervals, making them a practical crop for small gardens or limited spaces. Their quick turnaround and reliability made radishes a vital crop for households needing immediate sustenance during challenging times. Vegetable number 24. Mustard greens. Mustard greens were a Depression-era favorite for their rapid growth and robust flavor. Ready to harvest in about 30 days, these spicy, nutrient-packed leaves provided families with a quick source of vitamins and minerals when other vegetables took longer to mature. The leaves could be eaten fresh, sautéed, or added to soups and stews, while the seeds were often collected for use as a homemade condiment, ensuring nothing went to waste. In addition to their speed and versatility, mustard greens were remarkably resilient. They thrived in a variety of soils, tolerated frost, and returned quickly when harvested repeatedly, making them a reliable and low-maintenance crop. Their combination of fast production, nutritional value, and multiple uses made mustard greens an indispensable vegetable for Depression-era gardens. Vegetable number 25. Garden cress. Garden cress was a Depression-era favorite for its incredibly fast growth, often ready to harvest in just 2 weeks. Its peppery, tangy leaves added flavor and a burst of nutrition to meals when other vegetables were still maturing. Families could grow it in small spaces, even on windowsills, making it an ideal quick turnaround crop for urban gardens or households with limited outdoor space. Beyond its speed, garden cress was nearly foolproof to grow. It thrived in shallow soil, required minimal care, and could be harvested repeatedly, providing a steady supply of fresh greens. Its ease, rapid growth, and nutritional punch made garden cress an invaluable addition to survival gardens, offering fresh, flavorful greens almost immediately when hunger couldn't wait. Depression-era gardening teaches us valuable lessons about resilience, efficiency, and making the most of what we have. These 25 forgotten vegetables weren't just food, they were survival tools. They stored well, provided multiple uses from a single plant, built healthy soil, and grew reliably in tough conditions. By reintroducing them to our gardens today, we can improve food security, reduce dependence on grocery stores, and reconnect with the practical wisdom of past generations. Which of these hardy, versatile vegetables will you try this season? Drop a comment below and let us know your favorites. Let's start a conversation about reclaiming the gardening skills our grandparents relied on and bringing these forgotten crops back to life in our own backyards.